And I think the landscape now is shifting from a competition around brand trust and brand affinity and customer loyalty to more around AI.
What is the future of AI and AI utilization, and specifically within the financial services? It sounds like there's already some amazing use cases out there. But if you were to look at where you're headed or where you're trying to take the financial industry, as you said, you're a big part of moving it forward. What is on the horizon for AI in the financial sector?
The parallel I draw is, kind of coming out of the financial crisis of '08, '09. The competition amongst banks and fintechs was really around consumer trust and brand loyalty and brand affinity, because so much had been eroded amongst the big banks, and the fintechs swooped in and took advantage of that and focused on a singular product or solution or service and delivered it to the hilt in terms of a great customer experience and gained market share. And I think the landscape now is shifting from a competition around brand trust and brand affinity and customer loyalty to more around AI, frankly, because the competitive landscape has shifted. It's not just fintechs and the incumbent big banks or insurance carriers versus insurtechs. You've also got big tech that's massively involved in payments and other segments. I'm talking about like Apple Pay and Amazon and Google, et cetera. So you've got big tech that's very interested in customers and their financial data. And then you've got big retail like Walmart, who has announced they're building a fintech in partnership with one of the best known fintech VCs in the land and river capital. So you've got all these different huge players going after this opportunity. And we believe that you're going to differentiate and earn market share through AI. Because if a competitor is using AI for customer service and you're not, your experience is going to be subpar relative to the competition. Same thing if from an underwriting perspective, if you're not like Upstart and taking alternative data into your underwriting practices and not able to see who really are the true credit-worthy applicants beyond a credit score, you're going to be acquiring less valuable customers than the competition. Same thing in terms of your back office processes. If you're not using AI, RPA, robotic process automation, to handle the back office automation of your enterprise and removing those inefficiencies from a cost standpoint, then you're going to be less profitable. And so we think AI is going to be where all of this is headed in terms of enabling banks, insurance carriers, fintechs, big tech, retail, et cetera, to deliver a superior kind of consumer experience, but also make their operations work as effectively as possible.
A lot of times the way that the current systems work, they result in in large populations of people being excluded from banking, from access to credit, because the financial systems aren't set up to understand these people, understand who they are, their financial implications, and then as a result, they don't want to deal with them. So fintechs are helping solve that. And it sounds like through your AI-enabled applications, it's helping do that even more, because we're having a wider picture of a person now.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we're so excited to work with the likes of, Upstart and others that are trying to solve these problems, because yes, AI can help enable financial inclusion, financial empowerment, financial education. And this is not just in the context of, a first world country like the United States. We want to see, and already there are fintechs that are leveraging the greater smartphone penetration that's taking place within Africa and Asia Pacific to deliver education and tools and solutions in micro lending to help farmers, invest in next year's crop. And there's AI that, is all about economic empowerment that complements kind of the financial solutions and tools such as drones and other techniques and solutions that can understand crop yields and help farmers get more out of their investment in this year's crop. So there's AI that can be applied for social good in all industries, and certainly financial services is one of them. And that's a great area and opportunity for continued investment, not just from NVIDIA, but from the ecosystem at large. And it's one that we're certainly focused on and supportive of.
I think that's a tremendous point, that AI is not just something that's enabling big companies to make more money and for them to have a deeper view into us, but it also has applications on a totally separate parallel where you're trying to make a difference in the world and helping move things forward from a responsibility point of view as well.
Absolutely. It's incumbent upon all of us and, to use obviously the technology for good. And, we are already seeing that even if you think about, climate change and the heightened potential for natural disasters. Well, how can AI do a better job of predicting these potential risks? How, after they happen, can AI help insurers put support teams in the right places where they can reach the most customers and take advantage of their resources as they deploy to help people get their lives back? Even as simple moving from a natural disaster down to the example of a car accident, which is, people need cars to get to their jobs. And certainly not all of us are commuting these days, but a lot more of us are. And AI can be utilized to automate claims processing for insurance carriers. So you can look at the pictures that are being submitted through the phone. First of all, make sure that the picture isn't the same dented door or bumper you've seen before and is part of a fraud that's trying to be perpetrated. But then also use that computer vision technology that's AI enabled to say, oh, well, we've seen a dented car door from a 2015 Ford before that cost $400 to fix. Let us cut you a check today. We know what this will cost and get you back on the road. So lots of opportunities for AI to just help from a financial inclusion standpoint, financial enablement, education, and we're going to continue to invest in those areas.